Hi, everybody. We decided to come outside today and take advantage of this beautiful weather. It's been so cold, and we thought you'd enjoy seeing something outside too. Today, our story is Trusty. Jenny had heard a noise. It was loud, but it had wakened her from her sleep. She lay really still, straining to hear the sound again. Yep, she heard it again, but where did it come from? She couldn't quite tell. So once again, she lay really still, almost holding her breath. And then she heard it again. Yip, yip. Wow, she thought, it's coming from the yard. I heard the sound coming through the window. Slowly, she pulled her covers back. Boy, was it cold, she thought. And she quickly tiptoed to the window, and she saw him down below her. It was a little puppy. And somehow he had gotten tangled up and stuck with the leg of her swing set. The snow had covered the ground, and she couldn't leave him stuck out in the snow, so she quickly ran down the steps, being very quiet. She got her coat and her boots and opened the front door. Very easy, so it wouldn't squeak. And she didn't want to wake up her mom and dad. She pulled the door almost closed, then ran across the porch, down the steps, hit the walkway that ran around her house. And once she got to the edge of the house, she could see the puppy trying to pull and get unstuck, but he was solidly trapped by something. So Jenny ran through the yard and knelt down and realized that he had a collar on with a small chain that had been broken. The end had gotten stuck on a branch, and when he went around the leg of the swing set, it got jammed. He was not strong enough to break through, so he was really stuck. He was freezing, and he was hungry. Jenny quickly saw the problem, removed the stick, and picking up the shivering puppy, she wrapped him in her coat and made her way back to the house. When they were safe in her room, she put him on the floor and watched him devour the chicken pot pie Mom had made for supper. She took a towel and rubbed him until he was dry. By this time, they were both really getting sleepy. So she snuggled down under the cover with the pup in her arms, and in moments, both of them were warm and snuggly. Her last words to him were, "We have got to find you a name." And suddenly, she and the pup were fast asleep. The next morning, she was awakened with someone kissing her over and over. What is going on, she wondered, and she realized it was her new puppy. She was so happy to see him there, and he looked really happy to see her. "I bet you are hungry and have to go to the bathroom," said Jenny to her little furball. It was really early, so her mom and dad were still asleep, and so once again she sneaked down the steps and let him out in the yard, and then she grabbed him up and headed for the kitchen. Once more, she gathered some leftovers, and back to her room she ran. She had just closed her door when she heard her mom saying as she headed downstairs, "The coffee will be ready in a few minutes." Wow, she thought, we made it back just in time. Once again, the food was gobbled down like he was a little pig instead of a puppy. Suddenly, she heard the bathroom door open, and she heard a clump, 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 and she knew her daddy was on his way down the steps too. But she had two main things on her mind. Now, how can I get my mom and dad to let me keep you? And what am I going to name you? These were big problems, too big for someone that was only 7 years old. Maybe she could ask Grandma. Yeah, she thought, I'll call Grandma. She knows everything. Then she turned to the puppy and said, "Go take a nap, and I'll go eat breakfast and call Grandma." And with that, she plopped him back in her bed and pulled the covers up over his head, and he went to sleep. And she ran down the steps to breakfast. He was still so tired, and she knew he would lay there and sleep for a while. Pulling on her last shoe, Jenny raced for the door. She had to call Grandma, and that rumbling must be her hungry tummy, she thought to herself. "Ring, ring." "Hello," said Grandma. "Hey, Grandma, can you come to my house? I really, really need you. I have a big problem." "But Jenny," said Grandma, "you can talk to your mom and dad. They will help you." "No, Grandma, I need you. You're the only one that can help Please say you will come. Okay, baby girl, I will come, but I have to wait a little while to make sure there's no ice on the road. I don't want to fall. I know there's no school today, so if I come later, it should be fine. Thanks, Grandma, said Jenny. Jenny had gone to the bathroom to wash up for breakfast, and while she was gone, she called Grandma. But she had to hurry back so her parents wouldn't get suspicious and ask a lot of questions that she couldn't answer. Jenny couldn't tell a lie. She knew that that was wrong. Her Sunday school teacher had told them that God said that we should not lie. So she did not want them to ask her questions. Now, if she could only wait till Grandma got here, she knew everything would work out just fine. Around lunchtime, the doorbell rang, and Jenny raced to the door because she knew it was her grandma. Grandma, Grandma, cried Jenny, can you come to my room? Please, I need to show you something. Jenny cried, her mom, give Grandma a chance to get in the door before you start dragging her upstairs. But Mom, I just need Grandma's help. Please. Okay, Jenny, let's go see what the problem is, said Grandma. So together they climbed the stairs leading to Jenny's bedroom. Once Grandma was in the room, Jenny walked to the bed and pulled down the covers, and right in the middle of the bed was a little ball of white fur lying curled in a circle. Grandma was flabbergasted. Where did he come from, Jenny? She asked. Quickly, Jenny recounted the way she rescued him. By now, she said, how can I get Mom and Dad to let me keep him? Grandma, I just know they will say no. What am I going to do? And then the tears started. Please help me, Grandma. Okay, I will help, but this is not the time for tears. We have to make a plan. The first thing you have to remember is they are the parents and they make the rules. The second thing you have to do is be honest. The third thing you have to do is communicate. That means you don't know what you want. They don't know what you want unless you tell them. You have to remember, baby girl, that your parents love you and every decision that they make is to protect you. If it does not work out, maybe they will have a reason that we don't know about. But let's have some faith in them and their love for you. Now, why don't you go downstairs and tell your mom that when your dad gets home, you want to talk to them about something very important. God loves it when we are truthful and honest. That evening, when Dad came home, Jenny and her mom and Dad sat down, and Jenny told them the whole story. And then she brought the puppy in. The little guy went straight to Daddy and sat on his foot. They both agreed that they would keep him for 2 weeks to see if someone claimed him. And then if nobody had claimed him, he would become the newest member of their family. They told her it was so important that she feels like she could come to them with problems because it showed that she trusted them. She thought a minute and said, isn't that kind of what Jesus tells us in the Bible? To cast our cares upon him? That's kind of how Grandma explained it to me, that Jesus wants us to talk to him and tell him our problems, and that my parents are the same way. They want me to trust them and talk to them about things that bother me. I am so glad that I have someone that I can trust, always. I believe that God gave me this little guy right here to remind me of that. And so I'm going to call him Trusty. I hope you enjoyed our story. I want you all to come back next Friday night. We'll have another story to keep the... Whoops! Ooh, that wind is cool. We will have another great story. Love to you all. Toodles!